Good evening. Good evening. When it's Tuesday, it's the Raw Leadership Talk. I'm glad to welcome you to the Raw Leadership Talk on this 11th day of May 2021. Today we have featuring Priscah Angwenyi, a mental health advocate, as we look forward to discuss the whole subject of mental health. It's becoming such a serious issue. If you are alive, you cannot avoid talking about mental health because it concerns you. My name is Mugera, and this broadcast is coming to you through my timeline, through our Africa Center for Public Speaking page, and at the same time via YouTube, through my YouTube channel. This broadcast is brought to you by the Africa Center for Public Speaking, and we are glad to always have you join us in the Raw Leadership Talk. Where are you joining us from? It will be good to hear from you. You can comment, you can engage us today. We'd like to hear from you. Where are you watching us from as we listen to Handel Messiah, Water Music? Where are you joining us from? In a moment, we shall begin our discussion of the day being mental health. Are you in Kenya? Are you in diaspora? Oh, Ongata Rongai also is a diaspora here in Kenya. So even if you are in Ongata Rongai also, you can let us know. Glad to be here today. Where are you joining us from? Let us know. And please stay connected and let's engage in this discussion. Stanley Kinyanjui says, joining from Mombasa. Good job. Bro, my schoolmate. Thank you. Salem Larot saying, watching you from Nairobi, the reigning county. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And now to our discussion of the day. Priscah, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good to see you here. Maybe you can greet our viewers and just say something even as we begin our discussion tonight.
Okay, good evening, viewers. For the ones in Nairobi and in the diaspora, it is raining cats and dogs, but I welcome you all to have a beautiful discussion about mental health. Without mental health, there is no wealth. Karibuni sana.
I like that opening statement. Without mental health, there is no wealth. And people need to learn this aspect. That everybody is susceptible. I'm sure, Priscah, you're going to expound more on this, but everybody is susceptible to mental health. And this is coming through this raw leadership talk, because we need to keep things raw. And as a leadership discussion, people need to know how important mental health is. But Priscah, let me come to you now. In your perspective, is mental health such a serious issue right now in Kenya? Do you think mental health is such a serious issue right now in Kenya?
Yeah, for a fact, this is a very serious issue, according to me.
Mm-hmm. During
the COVID-19 pandemic, majority of the people who are losing jobs. Okay. During this pandemic, majority of people have had salary cuts, pay cuts. They've lost loved ones because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Some people, because of the whole lot of issues, we've gotten now gender-based violence. We have rape. We have minors getting children, mm-hmm. And the whole aspect is really a key aspect. Mm-hmm. I think you can remember back in 2019, if I'm not wrong, the president mm-hmm. declared mental health a national disaster.
Yes.
Lockdown lockdown has made people not to visit their family members. The lockdown has made people limit. You see, with the last presidential directive, I remember the presidential directive number 3 of 2021.
Yes.
The president categorically limited people to be visiting their patients in the hospital, saying that patients are visited by one person once a day. So with that whole aspect, the family members are worried, is our patient really doing well? And with this whole aspect of COVID, we've gotten people having stress, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder. I think this is really a tough topic, and we really need to discuss it just the way it is. Yeah, sure.
So you are in agreement that mental health is a serious issue in Kenya, and it's not just something that we are thinking it's a serious issue, but it's an actual serious issue happening in this country. Now, why do you think we still stigmatize mental health problem here? We don't take them like they're just sicknesses like any other problem or challenges somebody may have. We still stigmatize mental health problem. Why, Priscah?
I think it is a very good question. And to our viewers, stigmatization, I think, Dan, stigmatization, it's because mental illnesses are associated with demons in our African setup, witchcraft, sorcery, curses in the family. And that is and with this stigmatization, when you hear somebody who has bipolar or post-traumatic stress disorder, it is really because of the setup that we've been brought up in.
Yes.
Just because you remember the time of HIV and AIDS.
Yes.
Until the president declared that the former president, Honorable Mwai Kibaki, who said that pamoja tuangamize ukimwi. Guys used to associate HIV with other things. The same way our current president, Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta, took it up upon himself, saying that mental health is a serious condition and we really need to focus on it on a national level. That's why we are now the mental health task force, so that they can follow up on the stigmatization. You know, mental health is associated with curses, witchcraft, sorcery, demons, and I think it is an African setup. When you tell somebody that you want to go see a psychiatrist, somebody says in a normal language, "Huyu amegoroka," you know. By the fact that somebody says huyu amegoroka, or in the coastal area, huyu amekuwa mwenda wazimu, amerushiwa mashetani, you know, that is how the stigma has been. And I think people should learn to understand mental illnesses are like any other illness. Just like somebody has diabetes or hypertension, or then there is mental illnesses. So with these mental illnesses, then I think people should really focus, and they should not stigmatize, because mental illnesses are treated with medication. We have psychiatrists, we have counseling psychologists, we have clinical psychologists, we have psychometry people who really help you to really go back to shape.
Thank you very much for highlighting us. For those who are joining us right now, we are doing the Raw Leadership Talk on this 11th of May. Caroline Wanga says she's watching from 001, county number 001, that is Mombasa. Thank you very much, Caroline. And guys, if you have any question or you want to engage us in any way, feel free to connect with us in this wonderful program as we talk about mental health, featuring Priscah Angwenyi, who is a mental health advocate. Back to you, Priscah. Have you encountered with this challenge or met people in this challenge, Priscah? I know you work in an hospital environment. Have you encountered with this challenge or met people who suffer or have this challenge?
An encounter, yes. I've encountered this as an employee of a hospital.
Yes.
And I've encountered this, to the viewers, as a patient.
Mm-hmm.
I live with bipolar disorder myself, and I don't fear telling people that it is treatable. For me, I've been on treatment for the last 3 years, and that's why I advocate for mental health. The encounters include, for example, if somebody has got a mental health condition and you work in a certain environment, when you decide that this decision that you guys are making or the management is making, according to me, it's not right. You get judged. Somebody says, probably it's because of her illness. That's why she doesn't see things the way we see them. Or sometimes you have a stand on issues, on matters of integrity. Somebody just thinks, probably she wants to show off that she's good or something, you know. Sometimes this really happens, you know. People think that you're dramatic, yet you're not dramatic. Probably you're driving a point home. Probably you're giving your opinion the way you know best, depending on your exposure. But people really brush you off.
So they associate your opinion with your condition, so they don't take you very serious.
Yeah, people sometimes don't take you seriously. Another scenario might include you're making family decisions for the family. If people know that you have a mental illness or you have got a mental condition where you see a psychiatrist or a counseling psychologist, some family members think that you're there to settle some old scores, or some family members just think because you see a psychiatrist or a mental health expert, let me use that word. If you're seeing a mental health expert and you are on treatment, people don't really take you seriously. Not everyone, I say per se, but majority of the people who have not been able to demystify the myths and misconceptions of mental health do not take mental health patients seriously, or people who work in the marketplace with mental health conditions seriously. But what I thank God for government, through this public service, Honorable Rachel Shebesh, she's been able to bring in counseling units all over, and people are being empowered. For example, where I work in Kenyatta National Hospital, we have a department called the Employees Assistance Program. With the Employees Assistance Program, we have a group of counseling psychologists who really work with a multidisciplinary group of the Department of Mental Health, where when you have such a condition, they are easily able to tell your department or anyone in that department where you work, so that they can be able to understand you, to understand where you're coming from and where you are headed to. Yeah, sure.
Wonderful thoughts. Bishop Michael Huru, thank you very much for joining us from Tongwe, Mombasa. We are discussing about mental health. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a really raw leadership talk, because no matter where you are, whether you are a leader or you are in a position of authority, you are susceptible to mental health challenges. And it's important for you to become aware so that you can then build responsibility as far as your mental health is concerned. Thank you very much, Priscah, for sharing your part of your story and what your journey with mental health and how you see other people also having challenges, and how the perception of the people, from colleagues to family members to friends, the way they treat people who have gone through mental health issues. It's very, very important for our viewers to understand that the fact that somebody has gone through mental health or is going through mental health doesn't necessarily mean that they do not have something to offer to the public, or offer to the family, or offer even other place of work. So, Priscah, what do you think should be done to reduce the impact of mental health challenges, especially in the context of this country?
Okay, before we go to that next question, there is this other about mental health I would wish other members of the public to understand. Especially if somebody has a mental problem or mental illness. Sometimes getting into relationships that last is really a challenge. For instance, if the rates of divorce in this country are on the rise. I think we'll go to that topic another time. But
Yes.
with the divorce rates going very high, sometimes when you ask these partners what happened, sometimes in your counseling bit of your life, you can ask, probably they are having a challenge, a mental health challenge. And that is where relationships, and sometimes that is how relationships break. Sometimes parents killing children, I wanted us to also go through that. Sometimes parents killing children or children killing parents. You see, such relationships really don't work.
Yes.
Such a challenge, I think, with mental health.
I agree.
And I also want us to check out. Sometimes, for example, me as Priscah, if I'm dating someone and I tell them that, by the way, I have this challenge, sometimes they become cold to understand that even if I have this challenge, I'm on treatment and I can still make such family decisions. So I think that is another aspect we really need to go to, so that we want to tell the viewers watching that even if somebody, be it a male or female, that they're having a mental health challenge and they are on correct treatment and they are on track, please do not discriminate them, because they also want to make families, They also need to have their own children, you see. Yeah, so that they can appreciate, because there are people out here, they might have issues of mental health, but then they also value family. Such are the things people really need to really go to.
I get you, and I feel you that the fact that somebody is going through a mental health challenge doesn't mean that they don't deserve to be loved, to be appreciated, to live a normal life, to be in a relationship, to make decisions that are right, and that it is the responsibility of friends, of family, colleagues out there, guys, to make sure you embrace and support people that are going through a mental health problem, instead of stereotyping them or even segregating them because of the challenge that they have. So what do you think should be done then to reduce the impact of mental health challenges, Priscah?
For me, from where I sit, I think, be it in the private sector or in the public sector, most workplaces should have counseling services for its employees.
Do you think currently, apart from a few government ministries or institutions, do you think we are really taking counseling departments seriously in this country?
I don't think people are taking it seriously, but right now I'm telling you, through the leadership of the CAS, Public Service, Rachel Shebesh, counseling services, government facilities are now being taken seriously, and somebody cannot be victimized when they go through counseling services, because they really need help. But in the private sector, I'm challenging the private sector stakeholders who hold part of this economy, that they should have such facilities, a good counselor, good counseling services, be it in universities, apart from the universities having counselors for students. The universities have counselors for their specific employees. Professors go through this problem of bipolar and other mental health conditions. Lecturers go through it, workers go through it. Sometimes you find somebody is not performing well at work, not because they are not able to perform, but it's because probably they have a lot of stressors. And another thing that what we can do is, I'm encouraging parents that are having children with mental health illnesses. They should not hide them home because they think that they are an embarrassment to them. No. Children are a blessing from God. That is what I know. They are not an embarrassment. This is what I can tell such parents, that everyone has got their own weakness. It's probably because somebody's weakness has been displayed, be it mental. Probably somebody else has got another weakness. Probably somebody else has got cancer and they speak about it. So parents not hide their children home until they die because of that, And another thing, what I should, I'm encouraging to wrap it. I'm encouraging government to include mental health in the NHIF scheme in such a way NHIF can be able to give you counseling services, psychiatric services, and medication. Because medication in this country for mental health patients, trust me, I know, it is expensive. Mental health in these countries are very expensive. Sometimes it requires you plus your extended family to save it up, so that it requires a really big support system. Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing those mitigation process that we could be able to do to be able to salvage this situation. And I think I got an opportunity last year, but one that is 2019, when I went to the US. I was invited by the ambassador then, or the Kenyan ambassador in the US, to speak to the staff about mental health. And I remember telling them, right now here in the US, it has gotten to a saturation state. You can imagine now it's in Kenya or in Africa, we are catching up with the problems of the Western countries. And mental health is going to become such a big deal. And unless we prepare ourselves, just like the way we are being very cautious about coronavirus, then this can become another pandemic or disaster that will really ruin a lot of lives. Priscah, I would like to give you an opportunity to just do your closing remarks today as we wrap this up. What are your closing remarks, Priscah?
For me, my closing remarks are these very tough statistics. One person in every people experience a mental problem.
Priscah, we can't hear you very well, and I want to get those statistics. Maybe you need to come closer to the microphone. Yes, and then you can do your closing remarks.
Okay, this is what I'm encouraging people.
Mm-hmm.
This is that one person in every four, one in every people in this country have gone through mental health experience in part of their life. So even if you see yourself that you're okay, someone has gone through some stressors, be it post-depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, or bipolar. I need to tell people that mental health illnesses are here to stay with us. We really need to get out, and let us not stigmatize. As I started saying, there is no health without mental health. And as I'm closing, this is what I'm telling the Kenyans watching, that there is no health or wealth without mental health. Until your mental health is fine, health and wealth is inevitable. You'll never get it until your mental health is fine. And if you're stressed or you need any help, please get help as soon as possible. Because as time goes by, it will really get on you, and it will be too late to be salvaged. But I know there is hope. People with mental health can be salvaged. The government is making sure that every single sub-county hospital has got a department of mental health where you can go seek both counseling and psychiatric services. So do not be ashamed. Any mental health condition can be seen anywhere. So do not be ashamed. If you know of a friend, please take them so that you can save their life, to live and the life that is near normal or a normal life. That's my cut. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Such a wonderful discussion we have had here. Daniel Musibise Mbagadi is represented. Thank you very much, Priscah, for sharing with us your story, for sharing these important nuggets that needs to be taken very, very seriously. And I'm going to urge our viewers, look, don't allow this to really destroy you. You feel extreme stress, you feel extreme anxiety, look for help. You feel like you are on the verge of depression, look for help. We are here. Some of us, we are experts in this, and many others. Kindly look for help. Don't allow yourself to get to that level where you destroy yourself and destroy your loved one or the people around you because of something that you don't understand, yet you could get help. It's been the Raw Leadership Talk from the Africa Center for Public Speaking. Today we've been featuring Priscah Angwenyi, a mental health advocate who has shared with us such wonderful information. And this broadcast is going to be there for you. You can watch, you can share with your friends, and let's keep this discussion of mental health going until we get it right. We got to call it a day. And thank you very much for watching. Until next Tuesday, when we meet on this same platform. Those interested to engage us at the Africa Center for Public Speaking with our wonderful programs on public speaking, professional speakers course. We are doing an intake for the May class that is commencing on 17th, this coming Monday. And also Mentality Change 101, such a powerful course that we do via Zoom. It's commencing this Saturday. And you can join the program and get yourself empowered through personal development. We keep it real at the Raw Leadership Talk. See you next time.